Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today about resilience. Like, it's a bit of a buzzword, but what do you think is at the core of that?
It is a buzzword, that's for sure, and something that I've thought a lot about over the years as a clinical psychologist, because when I trained as a clinical psych, I was very lucky to be part of the Auckland program, and it's a very dynamic program that's steeped in human development. Therefore, child and family would probably be the basis of all of my training.
Yeah.
And so everything I do and think about over the years is what's impact is this having on our kids. And so obviously resilience has been one word that you hear a lot of people talk about, and it's my biggest worry for us is it doesn't feel like we've really been conscious of the impact of the way that we've dealt with this on our children. Resilience is the ability to function and operate effectively no matter what the context. And this is the irony, is I know that we are so fixated on progress. So we live in an era which is all about progress, but the irony is, I believe for us to fully understand resilience is we need to look back. If I think about the upbringing that I grew up with, was children were encouraged to be adventurous. So on a farm it was, Mum would ask us what we're doing that day. Let's say it's midsummer in Hawke's Bay, it's daylight at 6 o'clock, you're up having breakfast, you're not at school, you've got the weekend or holiday, and then you're going to meet your friend who's 3 kilometres away to then go eeling in the river in the gorge. And then Mum would say, make sure you take enough food because it sounds like you're going all day, and remember that dinner's at 6, and if you're not home, it's a long time to breakfast. Now some people look at that and go, that's abusive, but what does it make you do at 7? It makes you make sure you take a pack with some food in it. It makes you also understand where the sun is and what time you need to be back, based on the fact that must be about 6 o'clock, I should be getting back. And we never went hungry, so if we were back late, it never mattered, but Mum was helping us get clear that you're actually responsible. But you can see how that required that as a result of that, you're growing all the skills where catastrophe strikes. I remember one particular eeling trip down the back gorge, my brother, myself, and 2 of the neighbours, and we were eeling with a spears and gaffs, and I remember seeing a possum on a branch, and I threw the spear at the possum, and I thought I was going to get the possum, and it ducked, just dropped the trajectories, hit the branch, turned around, came back, and went straight on my leg, and that was a scar. And it opened my leg up because it was a lawnmower blade, so I opened my leg up and you could see the bone. I opened it up to have a look, it wasn't bleeding that much because thankfully didn't cut anything, and I'm just thinking, okay, so now I've got to get home. I wasn't thinking, call Mum or call Dad. We were at the back of the farm, I still had to get out of the gorge, we had to get back on the motorbike, so we still had to get home. So you can see how that one moment, the shit's just hit the fan, catastrophe's just struck. There isn't a fragmentation or a falling apart or I'm going to die or oh my goodness, but that's the era we grew in.